Most of my content is really about African American content or African content, but for the most part, we don't really focus in on the other parts of the diaspora. And one of the parts of the diaspora that is really huge out there is the Caribbean. Now, we know with the Caribbean, we have people from, Jamaica, Trinidad.
Why you don't stick with your own thing? Like, why you need to talk about other countries if you don't have any notion about it? Hi guys, my name is Kenny Rosario. This is my first video that I'm gonna do in English. I'm gonna put a translation here to all of you, and I'm just gonna do a quick fast forward about this video. I'm gonna explain to you all what is about this video that he is talking about. It's called White Men Are Doing This to Afro-Latinas in Dominican Republic. Just with the start ahead, just put in division. It's a really annoying title. I really hate this thing, and I'm gonna try to explain to him really nicely and calmly why he's just not wrong. He's changing perception and spreading misinformation to everyone. So let's get to it, okay?
That, places like that, Barbados. But what is often forgot is the Dominican Republic. Now, it's sort of forgotten because number one, Dominican Republic is Spanish speaking, and also there is some conflict if Dominicans want to accept their black.
Let me start here, my man. Your name is Kenganda. Your content is welcome to Kenganga channel. In this channel, you just make content, positive content for, I think, a Black American or African American community. I don't know. I really don't know about that. So let me start saying that Dominicans don't have any problem having knowledge or knowing about their own ethnicity. Because that's the thing about being the Dominican. You can be black, you can be white, you can be whatever. Dominicans identify as Dominicans because they don't want to be associated with any part of other groups and other diaspora. Yes, there's Dominicans that maybe they hang out with black people in the United States, but majority of Dominican people that are really Dominican, they just want to stick by the Dominicanness, if I can say it like that. So I am a big example of that. I did a 23andMe, and if you find out, I'm gonna put some charts here, and you're gonna find out that most basically I have 24% of sub-Saharan African. So majority of my genes, 1/4 of my genes actually, are African. And I'm really happy for that because besides my 50% European looking and my 10% Asian and my 8% Arabic country, I have a big percentage of African in me. And I'm not ashamed of that. Any Dominican are ashamed of that. Anyone, any Dominican, they're gonna tell you, yeah, I look morenito, I look black, I look negro, I look white, I look jabao, I look whatever. That's not the main topic of the conversation. So that's not true.
So that's why they are often forgotten in the Pan-African conversations. But I wanted to bring it to light because this brother, Jamie the Pro Expat, talked about how Dominican women, in his opinion, are being treated by white men and European men. Now,
so I want to stop you there. You're talking about Dominican Republic. You're talking about Dominican people. Then you start talking about how Europeans and white folks in general treat Dominican or treat their women. So what is the association between Dominican Republic being European? To me, that sounds not only racist, but ignorant because you're talking about Dominican Republic. You're talking about Dominican people. And Dominican people are a mixture of 3 different ethnicities, which is Taino, European, and African.
Talk about this whole phrase, La Terraza, right? I think that's what I'm saying, which is improve the race. A lot of Dominicans believe in this theory, even if they're black as me. If they're black as me or blacker, they may or may not be happy with their particular skin complexion. So what they'll tell their kids is this:
to improve the race, to make it wider. That is what mejorar la raza means, and that is what a lot of Latin people are consistently.
So this is really debatable. I'm not gonna lie, you have a proving point here, because majority of Dominicans use this as a joke, more than a local joke, just to describe how they feel or think about having a different kind of family members and babies. That's what it is. But this is the interesting part. Majority of people, and statistically I can show you off, that go with Dominicans, at the end, they just end being married to another Dominican, which means that it's not about skin color itself, because majority of Dominicans, they are well looked and actually really they are like really getting trending on social media, are actually black in my country. In Dominican Republic, you can you can see it out, because one of the worst criminals that have a case is called El Menorcito. I'm gonna show you the name. He was like 15 girls was waiting for him outside the freaking prison. Like 15 bitches would like literally waiting for that man just to come out. And he was black. And it doesn't matter. And I have a video to prove you so too, that a lot of women call to their husbands or loved ones mi negro bello, which mean my beautiful black man.
Hola, mi negro bello, ¿cómo tú estás? Bendiciones. Mi amor, te estoy esperando para la cena.
Dile que yo en mis sueños
Which is not a racist connotation, because literally they presented it as beautiful people.
On the video where this comment came from, I told you guys about how I didn't know that I have racist biases before I moved to the United States. In the Dominican Republic, most people are darker than me, and there's this concept of hair, that I have good hair and that people that have curlier hair have
You don't
bad
have
hair.
biases when you were in the United what? When you were in the United States, literally United States, one of the most racist country that I never experienced in my life. And let me tell you, I literally was born in Manhattan and Riverdale. And you can see about, like, you can listen to me. I have a big accent, and I was literally mistreated and also change of forms and being misleading by all Americans in general, not black people, not white people, all Americans in general, because there's an ignorant kind of agenda that isn't going in the United States, that you need to be a certain form, a certain way, just to apply all your information or apply all your knowledge, because a group of people want to be presented like that. I mean, majority of Americans not only are racist, they don't let you speak. And I have some example with my wife.
A white tea mestiza woman, that's what she looked like to me personally. Boy, you know.
She's Samoan.
There's white more than black women.
She don't look like no Amanda.
Are the people perpetuating these
She looks
ideologies?
like Amanda a little bit. Like, they look like they could be cousins.
Are you guys going to listen to me or not?
I understand that you're stressed. I can understand that this is a multifaceted conversation. And we are, at least me especially, I'm trying to understand where you're coming from. But I can't
No, you're
do
not,
that if I'm
because
never
it,
to get
look,
understanding by asking you
sub
a question
only
and you just
asking
yell.
for money
I can't do that. And then two,
silencioso
right?
y no me
We can't
escucharon
have
ni me dejaron
dialogue if you're the
explicar.
only one-
Mestizos are race. They usually have indigenous blood to them.
Mestizo is a race, Mexican is not.
Mestizos and nationality.
El
diablo. Adding some context, my wife was in this live. They were telling her that mixed people don't suffer discrimination, and that's why she was trying to defend herself. I literally have a video that my wife trying to explain her situation, which, long story short, she was assaulted by a black female, and she was harassed by this girl. And majority of their classmates, when she was studying in Florida, they were assaulting her because she has a Latino last name, which is pretty interesting because they don't talk about the racism or the systemic racism that is present in the United States for all the different ethnic groups, white, black, even Latinos are really racist in the United States because they have this mentality, this lack of mentality, and they don't accept different cultures as well.
Dominican Republic, people are encouraged to marry white, to marry someone that is lighter skinned than you and someone who has good hair so that your kids can come up to be white with good hair. And believe me, I know that a lot of Dominicans are going to come for me on the comment section, but guess what? I don't care. The concept of whiteness is not limited to the United States. In fact, the superiority of the
Understand the logic, because you want to present to the people that being with a white man, it means superiority, right? You want to bring that American kind of mentality to the Dominican Republic. In retrospect, Dominican Republic, they have colorism, I'm not gonna lie, and they have classism, but it's more ingrained to the education. If you are a lavadito, you are like literally like well presented, you have, you know, brew your hair, wash your teeth, just wash your teeth, have nice clothes, they're gonna consider you actually better and well-spoken person before you talk, because that's how Dominicans are. And in the United States, that culture actually doesn't exist that well, because you can be presented as whatever and you can be a millionaire. They don't have that accustomed system, because United States is basically a systematic freaking country. So that's the thing. You need to understand that and actually don't be so predisposed. I'm not saying that Dominican Republic is perfect. They have some problem with colorism. If you don't know what colorism is, I give you the meaning here, and some problems with classism too as well. I can give you the definition here. But you're never gonna hear about a Dominican just don't talk or don't sell good and deeds to another Dominican or to another person because of their skin color. The only thing you can hear about is a person who don't want to do any business in the United States because they cut you up in a different name or a different breed of, you know, not in their agenda or in their vibes, which happens a lot of time. And don't even get me started with the scams in the United States.
People is all over the world at this point, to the point that Latin people are telling their kids, marry white, to the point that if we have a black boyfriend, that represents a problem and our family reject that person. And yes, you're not going to...
I want to tell you something, right? And this is not exaggeration. Who is Al Horford? I just want to look that up. Al Horford is a basketball player, well known, playing for the Celtics. He's married to the literally the Miss Universe from Dominican Republic, Amelia Vega. And they have beautiful sons, beautiful daughters. He's a really handsome man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not, I'm not homosexual, but I can see it. And he's an amazing person. And I want to tell you that guy, it's basically a black guy. So it's a thing about perspective. Not all of Dominican people take that seriously. I just want to be clear. I think you're just being racist at this point, because you are being prejudiced to other people. That's also called racist. When you're racist to everyone, doesn't matter the color of skin, you're discriminating there by their biases about their color of their skin, you're also being racist too.
Be killed in the Dominican Republic because of the color of your skin, but you are going to be discriminated against because of it.
So, and Dominican Republic is a vacation spot. A lot of women from the DR, even Haitians, okay? You have Haitian women there too. They are told to, they basically don't even deal with the black men because you want to improve your conditions, improve the race, go after white men. But this guy is saying certain things that's happening when...
Majority of Dominicans don't care about that. They use it as a joke. In the United States, when someone says, I don't want to marry this black woman because it looks black and I don't want to deal with black people. In reality, that's the reality. They don't want to do that. They're racist. They don't just want to do that. But in Dominican Republic, when they say the same sentence, Actually, that's just a meaning of being just like joking around, and don't take it literally. Because I'm gonna tell you something. There's a big thing about Dominican men loving Dominican women. Doesn't matter the color of the skin. And it's something really common though. It's something really, really common. But yeah, there's some, as I told you, there's some colorism in there, but I'm not gonna spread misinformation because there's a lot of misinformation in this video.
Example is I've seen where the women are a lot more obedient towards a white man. Like they'll jump through hoops. Like basically I've seen, and this is crazy, like I've seen like,
why you care? Why you care about that? What is the point about doing that? Like to me, you sounding like a victim. You sounding like a victim, man. Like you're a grown ass man. I think you're like 30 something. You I don't know. You're just sounding like a victim. Not very gracious. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like you need a shave or something. But hey, man, put a good perfume. Do some stuff. Hustle a little bit. And you're gonna get some bitches because you need personality, right? You need self-esteem. You need to take it chill. You don't care about that. Why you
basically
care so much?
I've seen, and this is crazy, like I've seen like girls basically act like slaves to some of these guys just because he was white. Like to the point where I saw this one white man, he had his wife working construction, like literally mixing concrete, laying bricks, doing all this other stuff that you know that if it was a black man or another Dominican man, she would not be doing. She'd curse the guy out. And it was nuts because like this guy, you know, even though he has money, like he had his wife work like demeaning, I mean, I wouldn't say demeaning jobs, but like most guys are not going to have their wife doing stuff like that. And then while they're basically sitting there drinking iced tea, you know, and basically like she was doing more physical labor than he was. And like I said, some people.
That's a lie. I'm sorry, man. Like Dominicans do not treat women like that. They don't. First of all, they treat Dominican women as a princess. I don't know if you because you don't follow media from Dominican Republic. Majority of these women that you see on television, a lot of different host TV programs they're following Dominican Republic, they literally, the man gets crazy because of how much they spend of the women. They spend on cars, flowers, big houses. Actually, there's an inside joke that a women don't want to hang out with a man in a Hyundai Sonata, which is a pretty common joke in the Dominican Republic. Like any women just want to hang out with another guy that has a Hyundai because men invest in their women. Like they give 1,000 pesos to the salon. They make sure that she's beautiful. They make sure that buy a gift. They go sometimes. They dance with their women. Go to the discotheque. Go to the party room, doing this and that, and more if they have complicity. Actually, Dominican men, when they get older, they get better because they want to be more stable and established. Not all of them, because I don't want to generalize, not all of them. There's a series of cases towards Dominican women, but that's the ignorant men. Majority of them, they just want to spend out time with the girl and be respectful. And there's a lot of Americans that goes to Dominican Republic as well. And when they have the opportunity to get with a Dominican woman, they just take it, man, because it's a beautiful experience.
A fetish of that. And I've seen a lot of Haitian girls, same thing, where a lot of Haitian girls, they try to have a baby with a white man, particularly Canadian or European.
That's great, but you're talking about Dominican Republic, not about Haiti.
European. Like I said, a lot of the American white guys, they take care of their kids, but I see a lot of Canadian guys and a lot of Germans and Swiss that will abandon their kids in a minute. I don't know what that's about. But so it's not all white guys are the same. I also see German guys take care of their kids, but a lot of times you see their kids.
You're just talking nonsense at this point because you're talking about Dominican Republic. Then you talk about Canadians, Swiss. You're talking about Germans. Who the f*** cares about that, man? Like, I'm not even I'm not, okay, so I'm not giving, because the only place that I can think about is maybe Punta Cana, which you maybe refer about that and see all these touristic guys into Dominican Republic. But even though that's not the reality, because in the true core of all these things, you're just talking about your perception of reality. There's no facts. You don't have any evidence of that. You just have literally the experience that you have on camera. You don't have a statistic. You don't have proof of that. I have a lot of proof. Like I'm gonna blast this video, man. Like I have a lot of proof about things.
A lot of these German guys pimp a girl out, and she'll go with it because a white guy's doing it. Like, you know, some of these German guys will have a Haitian girl.
So there's not all African American and Black Americans all the same. Actually, I'm gonna show you a video of the internal conflict that have Black Americans and African Americans too.
So what's your ethnicity? I'm African American. No, you're Black American. But my ancestors came from Africa. No, he's a foundational Black American. What's the difference? No, he's an American descendant of slavery. Well, that's a mouthful, but I don't see how that... Why can't he just be Black? That's my race, but my ethnicity, like I said, is Solon, Hebrew Israelite. Technically indigenous, we were here first. Damn, how many ethnicities do y'all have?
Just do you have an idea, because this is so confusing, and I just want to protect my country. I just want to protect the rights of my people. Don't be misleading and disrespect, because it has been a lot of disrespectful comments, man. Like, what? Again, Dominican Republic, no Haiti. Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic is a country. Haiti is another country. You just mixing things, and it doesn't have any sense.
You know, basically sleep with the entire group, you know, and do all types of meaning, you know, ghetto gaggers type of stuff. And it's okay because a white guy is making you do it.
Now, he also talks about something that was interesting when, you know, he was talking to a Haitian lady that worked at a restaurant, and this is what the boss was telling them.
I remember this one Haitian girl.
Okay. I'm getting really mad. I'm getting really, really mad, because you see, and I can see it through the roof, this is an agenda. This video at its whole is an agenda. The video says white men are doing this to Afro-Latinas in Dominican Republic. First of all, you're talking about Dominican Republic. You're talking about Afro-Latinas. And Dominican Republic, any normal girl identifies as an Afro-Latina. They just identify as a Dominican. Black, mixed, white, mestiza, java, negra, whatever. They just identify literally as a Dominican. That thing about Afro-Latinas, that's a concept from the United States, because that's the thing. Did you imagine that I present myself as an Euro-Caribbean? What the f is that shit? An Euro-Latino? Like, just grow. Like, I understand they maybe reject you because how you present yourself, it maybe can be, or your personality, but it's a personal choice too. Like, people like different preferences. Sometimes they like white, sometimes they like black, sometimes they like mestizo, sometimes they like, I don't know, Indian. I don't know. And that doesn't mean they're racist. They just don't want to hang out with you.
And she was really, really cute, and she actually liked me. But her friends actually told her, and she later told me this, because I still got with her anyway, but her friends told me, like, you know, you don't want to be seen talking to any of the black guys in front of the boss, because the boss says, you know, you should only talk to white guys, and this and that. You know, we're not here for those, you know, slur, because, you know, she spoke English. And, you know, so she...
Simple. You shouldn't be associated with those kind of people. What, in the first place, what you doing there? What you doing there? Like, that's disrespectful. I will not be disrespected. Hey, I'm not even a black person. I'm a mixed person. And I feel really disrespected with that sentence. So why you are there in the first place? Like, why you're listening to that?
Talked about, like, how her boss was like, you're here to cater to the white guys. Like, I don't care about, you know, the black guy's business or anything like that. And, you know, luckily, like, you know, when she moved into town, she eventually found another job because she just felt very uncomfortable. She felt like she was pressured to, like, do things. Like the boss tried to nudge her in the direction to do things with some of the clients that she was not okay with. And like I said, a lot of these older guys, like to them, they view these girls as like pieces of meat to fulfill some of their sick fantasies.
Now, this last...
Okay, so that's a projection. That's a projection right there. I'm going to tell you right away. That's a projection. Unfortunately, majority of the experience that I got, my personal experience, watching from the outside, from Black people, and more in American, I'm specifically saying Black people, not saying African American, not saying other diaspora. Black people, and in general, is that when they saw or when they are interacting with a light-skinned women, they literally go like birds, like those birds, like buitres, and go to there. And it doesn't matter if she's cute, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous or not. They just don't ask and treat her like a piece of meat. They treat her like a trophy. They literally don't give it another value as she's light skinned or whatever. Interesting, because at the end, it feels like, again, it was an agenda. And unfortunately, this video is an agenda as well, because it doesn't have any presentable facts besides storytelling. You don't have anything more like that. You don't have a video that presents statistics. I do have statistics, and I'm gonna show you. I actually gonna show you right here, but let me go.
This comment about a lot of the women in Dominican Republic wanting to have their African roots for this reason is shocking.
And this is
no, actually, they're also okay. Let me give you the harsh truth, man. So the real problem, it's not that Dominican women wanna neglect the African roots. The real problem is that they don't want to hang with people like you. I repeat, they don't want to hang out with people like you. Not because you're Black. Nope. It's because you act like a victim. Center all that energy to yourself. You need to concentrate on yourself. If you don't get bitches, imagine you're a passport bro going to Dominican Republic and see what you're gonna do. I'm gonna do hang out with all these bitches or whatever. But in reality, Dominican women, they put their own value. Majority of them, they really stood up for their value. So if you go with that bullshit of I'm gonna go with her and she's gonna be mine and respect me and whatever, it doesn't gonna work. You need to be real. And to be real, you need to have personality. And if you don't have personality and you just go with the race thing, it doesn't gonna work. And I can tell you by a fact. So the real reason because you get rejected or you maybe not encounter good experience with Dominican women, it's because you just act like a victim and you don't take accountability by yourself.
The interesting thing, like, they try to make sure that their African features are pronounced because they know that's a fetish for a lot of the European guys. So themselves, they'll wear the curly hair, they'll wear the afros, but they don't want to be around other Black people because they know that that's a sexual fantasy for that man, that he wants a Black woman that he can sexually abuse on command, and they're willing to to tolerate that for what they perceive will create a better life for them. And
let me tell you something, and this is going to be really controversial. So first of all, little disclaimer. I'm not saying that all Black people from the United States are like that. This is literally statistics. Did you know that 44% of, and I quote, because it's here, Black women experience physical violence, sexual violence, or stalking from their intimate partner and community, while 40.1% of Black men experience those abuses on average? Did you know that your own community, majority, not all of them, majority of men that hang out with another women finish being beat up with their own men, or besides that, the women? You talk about these topics with all the security of the world with not even knowing about Dominican Republic. Like, you literally talk about Dominican Republic and you don't know about Dominican Republic. You don't know about the culture. You don't know how people manage in the Dominican Republic. You don't know the environment. Do you know that we are one of the healthiest countries in the world, like mentally? You know why? Because we don't take that bullshit of biases and agendas to our heads. We just live and enjoy our lives.
It's sad, but I mean, what can you do? Like, they're consenting adults.
That's right. They want to preserve their African features and natural hair, but get this is not for black men. This is only for the white guys because the white men love those Afrocentric features, but they don't want to be anywhere around black people. And do you know what? That is so obviously true here. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm gonna tell you, you have so many content creators in Africa, in Uganda, in Kenya in particular, who are doing village African style content. Okay, they're in the village.
Interesting because you mentioned Africa. I got a video that I want to show you real quick that talks about that topic in a specific.
Cameron said he identifies as black, not African American. He said Africans don't even F with us.
I think there's some truth into some of the things that he's saying about those that are in Africa really not liking us, making jokes about us being Yanks. It doesn't really mean much when you think about it.
If I got to go way over there for somebody to have an opinion of what I am, I'm good, Ocho. We all originated from Africa.
Right.
So they said African Americans because that's where you came from. So basically what Cam is saying, like, look, bro, we born here. So we should be black Americans. White people, they don't say European American.
Do you know something really interesting too? You also have an internal conflict in your own people that they want to identify as a black Americans or African Americans. They always have this kind of like battles. I do respect that. That's not my business. I'm just showing you from another black creator, not me, not me, because I'm mixed. White passing, I don't want any trouble with you guys. I'm just saying reality how it is. I do not make the rules. But pretty interesting that you don't mind your own business. Like literally, you're not minding your own business. Feminicide. There's a lot of problem of feminicide in the Dominican Republic. Majority of them, 59%, are presented by the lower class neighborhoods. And actually, unfortunately, majority of them are black or mixed with foreigners. And unfortunately, that leads to major gang problems in my own country, which the gang problems in my country is not that big, but unfortunately we share the island with another country that gets a lot of gang members and death basically. So we have a lot of problems. There's a lot of problems. All those problems are coming to our part of the island, so that makes us really skeptical about all the things that are happening, which you will know if you get well informed.
They're using traditional foods. They're cooking, men and women, and a lot of these people have a white partner, right? They are pretty much selling their culture to get next to white people. I mean, they're going deep in the village, and you'll see they'll have a white girl or a white man. It's so common. One of the biggest TikTokers here, I don't want to mention her name, beautiful lady. You would look at her and think that she is so pro-black. Listen, I'm talking about Afro everything. You mean the woman is
heart can't from the bottom of my heart, because I have empathy for you, man, and I'm truly sorry. Sounding like a person that they just spreading misinformation. You know the real reason because you're creating more racism and more internal racism is because of these comments that you're saying. This guy is just having fun, just cooking some food with the people from the village. Why you're so bothering about? Why you get so mad about that? Because it's like when you talk, you all talking weird. It sounds like you spreading kind of like a pushing like an agenda of extremists of like, I don't know, black supremacy.
Afro everything. You mean the woman is absolutely gorgeous. Gotta be a white guy. Okay? So that whole thing, holding on to your African culture, they know that white men want an authentic acting looking African woman. They don't want no BBL, They want the chicks that look as authentic as possible, right? So they're selling that culture to white men, and then in return, they have this whole sexual experience. Now, again, I told you what the guy was saying.
With black women in Africa because they want to sell a sexual experience. Maybe that will be called, I don't know, personal preferences. Like they just want to hang out with someone they liked, or they just want to share a culture. So now you're sounding racist to me. That's racist. You're literally programming by your unconscious biases and your prejudiced thinking another person that just want to literally know the culture of Africa. That's incredible. And that's the reason, maybe because you have so much conflict with African people besides people or black people from America, because they always have this clash of, problems because of that.
I was saying that some of these white men make these women, Dominican women, work like slaves. Like, I've never been there.
That's not true. I'm telling you, that's not true. 100%. You just talk shit. Majority of white men, majority of them, they're so dedicated to their women that what happened is that they end on divorce, or they end on a different kind of, like, they just split up, and they still talk like they are lovers. You don't know anything about Dominican culture, bro, because if you know about this, you will not talk like this is a slave trade, transatlantic slave trade. You're talking like they still own slaves, which, besides, Dominican Republic abolished slavery in 1821, and actually 1844, which is the independence. So, bro, like,
but that's what they said. Now, the one thing is, I understand the Dominican community.
You never been there. You're misinforming. You never been to Dominican. You see what you so, like, I'm sorry. You're not stupid, but you sound like a stupid person because you never been in Dominican Republic.
Is very diverse. I'm not an expert in it, but it's diverse. In a black Dominican or a white Dominican, to them, they are all, from what I've been told, Dominicans. That's how you see yourself, okay?
That's 100% correct, man. That's one of the things that I will not refute with you. That's 100% correct. I am a Dominican. I am looking white passing or mestizo, because I'm mestizo. And if you see the palette of colors, I'm yellow, actually, if you see the palette of colors. But it's the same. We are Dominicans, all Dominicans. I can present you a list of different Dominicans.
Guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shitty Jackson, back at it again with another episode here at Fair Use. I'm out.
Okay, so to finish this video, I just want to tell you, man, thank you for the video. It was really well edited. It has some things, correct. Majority of the video are wrong. I mean, maybe like a 65% of the video. I just gonna clarify something for you, man. Do not talk of something that you don't know. Why? Because you put in your freaking thumbnail, Zoe Saldaña. Do you know what happened with Zoe Saldaña, where she tried to be the controversy that she leads when she was trying to literally go for the role of Nina Simone? Do you know that controversy? So you put it there on purpose to get hooked and get more views, but reality is that you're talking shit. Literally put in the photo a white man with blood there. Like, that's the level of disrespect, man. Like, you need to behave yourself. And that's something that you're gonna learn, you're gonna learn in a really bad way, that actually people don't want to hang out with you because of this kind of behavior. People don't want to associate with black people from the United States because of this kind of narrative. They don't want to hang out with people that are talking all the time about their prejudice biases and how they feel superior because they're black. They don't want to hang out with people that just talk about that shit all the time. They want to hang out with people that have personalities and actually can give them purpose in life and beautiful things as listening to them and having good conversations. I don't want to hang out with a dude that talks to me all the time that they are the Afro-Worship lover because they bet you no one's out the same. That makes me drive me crazy. So I don't know. You maybe need to go to therapy. I'm generally. I have a really good number from a therapy counselor. She's really good. She's from Dominican Republic as well, and she's not black. And I can tell you, I mean, black from the skin color, because that depends of how you wake up. Sometimes we're black, sometimes not. It just depends of how you perceive it, right? But in the reality, we all mixed mulattoes or like a breed of that, if you may say. There's black Dominicans, there's white Dominicans, there's Taino Dominicans, but we all identify as Dominicans. We don't do that division shit. So let me in the comments if you like this reply. I will do these sessions and these videos all along the way. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. My name was Kenneth Wu, or Kenneth Rosario Wu. As you tell, I'm Dominican, even though I look like a white person. I don't care about that. I just try to reply to you because you sound like a bitch. So next time, please educate yourself. I will put all the info, all the statistics that I got. And man, this is horrible. This is really horrible. This is one of the worst videos that I saw in my life. Like, this is bad, bro. Like, this is bad for real.